Hi, it's showtime! Wednesday for the Gift of Stillness. Hi everybody, thanks for being here with me. So, it's the 19th and we're doing the Gift of Stillness back to back this month, which is a little out of the ordinary. So, if you are late or if you have forgotten, sorry about that. Next month we'll be back to a normal every other week routine, but this month was a little bit off kilter because of my crazy schedule. So apologies for that. Anyhow, I thought long and hard about what intention to set for this class today and what to really bring my focus on. And I thought I had a good idea earlier in the morning of what to do, and then sort of as the day progressed I changed my mind because of a personal, I guess, experience that was going on, and I said nope, I'm going to change it. And I want to talk today about, hey Carmen, I want to talk today a little bit about anger and frustration. You know, we all get angry. It's just a natural human emotion. And sometimes anger is good because it gets you up off your butt and gets you to make a decision or a choice or do something that maybe you've been avoiding. But sometimes anger can be an overreaction, or it can be something that gets you in a whole heck of a lot of trouble. So, and there's lots of different variations of anger. There can be frustration, there can be irritability, there can be short temper, there can be aggression. There's lots of things that happen when we get angry. And so today, I was with somebody who got angry. And not naming any names, you know, don't think, oh my God, was it me? No, okay, just let it be. I was with somebody who got angry, who got very short-tempered, and I thought, wow, you know, where'd that come from? And I kind of stepped back for a minute and I thought about it, and I asked the person I was with to think about, where's that coming from? What are you so upset about? Because it just didn't seem normal or like them to be like that. And at first they were like, what do you mean? And very defensive. And I thought, well, you know, just think about why are you so angry, and why are you so upset, and why are you so unlike your natural self? And at first, the reaction was, you know, well, I have every right to be this way, and yeah, sure, you get every right to be the way you want to be. That's, you know, your God-given right, I guess, to be however you want to be. You make choices every day in life, right? But when you make some of these choices, and especially with anger, anger is one of those things that when you shout out in anger, or when you have a short temper, or when you become extremely aggressive, and I'm not saying this person was, but it affects those around you. And so anger is one of those things that sometimes you need to just stop and think, take a breath, a calming breath, and think about why, how, where is this coming from? What's the root of it? And, you know, is it really something that I need to do, should do? What could I do instead? And that sort of thing. So what I did for tonight was I focused all of my little bit of information, my grid, my oils, and a little bit more information about the chakras, about anger and frustration. Hey, Susan. And so I'd like to just share a little bit more with you about that. So I made a crystal grid for you tonight that will stay here for the next couple of weeks in my studio. And the intention for this particular grid is to help us with anger and frustration. So this grid has a huge focus stone, which is amethyst. And then it is surrounded by lapis lazuli, blue kyanite, smoky quartz, and clear crystal points. Now, there are also many other beautiful crystals that will help you with anger and frustration. And a lot of them are for the root chakra and for the throat chakra. Those are the two main chakras that are involved when there is anger. The root chakra, and I'm going to get off my knees a little bit here. Hey, Andrea, how are you? So the root chakra typically gets involved with you and anger if it's imbalanced in an overactive way, okay? And that will come out in forms of aggression. So what you can do for that is utilize smoky quartz, and have a nice big chunk here to show you. This is a nice smoky quartz, okay? Now, obviously, this is raw. This is not tumbled or polished in any way. But this is a nice big piece of smoky. And then an oil that you can use for that also is patchouli. Personally, I don't care for patchouli. I don't have any patchouli in the house, but a lot of people do like the fragrance of patchouli. It kind of was very popular in the 70s, like the Woodstock days, I think, and a lot of people still use it. And then another chakra that very often gets involved in imbalance when it comes to anger is the throat chakra. And the throat chakra will often have a blockage if there's anger involved. And that's like when you excessively react, like when you have an overreaction in your anger. And it's usually a blockage in your throat chakra. And if you know me and you've been following me at all in any of my sessions here with the Gift of Stillness, I care a lot about the throat chakra personally because I have throat issues, physical throat issues, and so I'm always concerned about the throat chakra. So anything for the throat chakra is a blue stone, like an aquamarine, lapis lazuli. I'll take a couple here from my grid and I'll put them back. So lapis lazuli, blue kyanite, aquamarine, anything blue will be good for you with the throat chakra. And as far as an essential oil for you with the throat chakra, that would, in this particular case, lavender, which is a master oil, would be highly suggested for you for that. So I'm going to just put these back real quick. Okay, now I have a few other oils that I can suggest for you just for general use, but also maybe a little bit of a suggestion here. So again, lavender is a master oil. Lavender is also good for excessive reaction and irritability. Patchouli, aggression. Patchouli is really good for aggression. Bergamot, short temper. Okay, lovely citrus fragrance. It's a nice fruit. It smells a little bit like Earl Grey. Ylang Ylang. This one is good for resentment if you're harboring any feelings of resentment. And then vetiver. I love the smell of this. Really nice, earthy fragrance. This one is also very good for frustration. So we're talking about anger and frustration tonight. Now, you can make really nice combinations with some of these and make a nice blend in a roller bottle. Just put a few drops of each, whatever ones that you prefer, and then add your carrier oil. You can put them in a diffuser. For my practice tonight, I am probably going to use a little bit of bergamot. I like bergamot. although I don't have a short temper, typically. Typically. So I'm going to rub in my hands. Inhale. Get a nice couple of lungs full, and then I'm just going to rub the rest on the top of my head and the back of my neck. So I get that fragrance while I'm practicing tonight. All right, so I am a Yin teacher, okay? And our practice tonight is going to be Yin, as it usually always is. And Yin Yoga has a lot of, a lot of people practice Yin with a basis of traditional Chinese medicine. And according to traditional Chinese medicine, anger and compassion are two sides of the same coin, okay? And basically, the belief is that once you are able to get over your anger, once you're able to move past it, then you will be able to look at whatever it is that caused you to be angry in the first place. You'll be able to look at it with more compassion and skillfully to determine what it is that made you angry in the first place. So tonight, if you know anything about Yin and the meridians in the body through acupuncture and through just practicing Yin, Yin Yoga always follows the meridians that are in the body, the energy meridians. So we are going to be following the energy meridians that work on the liver, because the liver and anger are affected. They coordinate with each other according to traditional Chinese medicine. And if you have a lot of anger, then what may happen is that anger may ultimately affect liver function. Now, this is according to traditional Chinese medicine, of course. And that could be that you feel fatigued, you may feel some digestion issues, you may feel nausea, and then you can also become more irritable because of all that. Isn't that great? So it's like a 20, what do you call that? A 20 or whatever that circle is that goes around and around. So our sequence tonight is going to focus on the liver meridian, and it's going to be something that you can do on your own whenever you're feeling grumpy or angry or frustrated. That will help work on that liver meridian and help you feel less grumpy and less frustrated, excuse me, when you're through with the sequence. So I hope it works for you. I know it works for me, so we will get started. And as always, hey Lee, good to see you there. Please let me know if you have any questions, and raise a hand if you want to say anything. If there's a comment, let me know where you're from. I love to see that people are here and participating. So, don't be quiet, okay? Except when you're in your pose. So in Yin, we hold a pose typically anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And the reason for that is because Yin Yoga works the deeper tissues in the body. We're working the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons. We are not moving like in a vinyasa flow. Okay, this is not dance-like. This is not power yoga. This is slow-paced, and we're working deep tissue. You go into a pose, and you find a place in that pose where you feel like you're able to hold it for that length of a period of time. And that's very important, because if you overextend yourself, let's just say in a wide leg forward fold, which is called Dragonfly, and you're so extending yourself that you can only hold it for 30 seconds. Well, that's not yin, okay? Yin is that you find a place where you know you can hold that pose for 3 to 5 minutes. You are feeling sensation, the inner thighs, maybe the glutes, wherever you're feeling it. And then you hold that pose. So it's like the 3 bears, okay? You don't want it to be super comfy. You don't want to be super strenuous. You want to be somewhere in the middle where you can hold that pose for 3 to 5 minutes. And it is rather an introspective form of yoga. You have that time, so it can be meditative. You can spend that time maybe actually having a little mini meditative session, concentrating on your breath, thinking of things, and that's perfectly okay. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to feel any pain. I don't want you to feel any serious discomfort, and if you do, then I want you to pull out of the pose and just wait for the next pose. And I will check on the camera every now and then. If I see a hand up or something, I'll try to answer the question. All right, so we're going to start off on our mats, and we're going to start off in wide leg child's pose. So you are going to have your knees mat width apart. You're going to sit on your heels, your toes are touching. Now the thing in Yin Yoga is that you can feel free to use props any way you like. So if you have a pillow and you want to come down forward on a pillow, that's perfectly okay. If you need a pillow to sit on, if that makes you more comfortable, then that's perfectly okay. If you need a pillow underneath because it bothers the tops of your feet, that's all right too. Whatever makes the pose work for you so that you're able to hold it for 5 minutes, because we're going to be in this pose for 5 minutes. All right? I'm timing you. Off you go. Now remember, in this pose, the intention is that you're feeling something most likely in the spine area. This is a nice spinal stretch. And you may feel something in your shoulders. If your head is on a pillow, or if it's turned to one side, wherever it is, on the mat or on a pillow, you can turn it to the other side. Take a moment to just sort of come up onto your knees and then easily down onto your belly and rest your head on your folded arms. You may want to just rock your hips a little bit and then just rest. You may feel that release in the lower back. From here, we'll move into Sphinx. Shift down a little bit. All right. So Sphinx, you come up on your elbows. Your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are separated and splayed out. Now, normally Sphinx is a pretty dynamic pose. In Yin, it's a pretty relaxed pose, okay? It's a dynamic back bend, but in Yang Yoga, you sort of lift your abdomen and you tuck your glutes and have a lot of action going on. In Yin Yoga, you relax your glutes, you relax your abdomen, you relax everything, and you're just using the bones, basically, the bones between your elbow and your shoulders to hold you up. So you're just going to relax. You can relax your head. You can put your head on a pillow. You can put it on a block. I'm a big proponent of blocks. If you don't already have blocks, I advise you to get a couple of blocks. They're not expensive. You're going to feel your shoulder blades almost sort of scrunching together behind your back. All right. I'm going to be here for 4 more minutes. Nice slow breaths. Make sure your jaw is relaxed. Your fingers are relaxed. Make sure your toes are relaxed. Almost done. All right, slowly lift your head. If you're using a block or a pillow or something to hold your head up, you can push that off to the side. And then let yourself down on your mat and bring your arms down to your side and just relax. Now this was a pretty intense back bend, so you most likely will feel something in your lower back, right around your sacrum. Just breathe it out. Just nice, even breaths. All right, next we're going to move into Swan, or as it's called in Vinyasa Yoga, Pigeon. So from here we're going to push ourselves up onto our knees, and some people use a pillow or a block for this. You may want to have both handy just in case, but what we're going to do, I need to come forward because I was moved back. What we're going to do is bring our left knee, keeping the leg bent, left knee forward, and then move the foot to the outside of the mat. Make sure you can see that. So the right leg is straight behind you. The left knee is on the left part of the mat. The left foot is on the right side of the mat. So it's sort of parallel. It may not be straight across. That's perfectly okay. The right leg is long behind you. And then you just want to slide your pelvis down onto the mat. Now, this is where you may need a prop. You want to come down onto your elbows. And then from your elbows, you want to come down to like a sleeping position. If that is not comfortable, use a prop. You can use a block or a pillow. Whatever allows you to hold this pose for 4 minutes on each side, okay? So if the block is not comfortable, you may want to stick a pillow there. That might be more comfortable. But you're still getting the full effect of the pose because it's working the thigh, the glute, and you may feel it in some other places as well. All right? Off we go. And again, no pain. If you start to feel pain, especially in the knee, pull out of the pose or come out a little bit of the pose. Don't make it as deep. You can also sit like this. That's perfectly okay. Adjust to where you can hold it for 4 minutes. Remember, it's not a competition. This is your body. What your body can do is what you do. One more minute. All right, carefully bring yourself up so that you're almost in a Sphinx-like position with your arms. Now push yourself up with that right leg a little bit and release that left leg. And now I just want you to rest on your belly just for a minute, because I know that was pretty intense. All right, and now we're going to move into Sleeping Swan with the other leg. So you're going to come up, push yourself up onto your fours. You're going to bend that right knee, bring it forward. So the right knee is on the right outer edge of the mat. The right foot is on the left outer edge of the mat. Your left leg is straight behind you. You come down on your pelvis. Again, if you need a block on that left side to make it more durable for you or comfortable for you, that's fine. And then you come down on your elbows. If that's as far as you go, that's as far as you go. If you want to come down further, you come down further. I'm going to be here for 4 minutes. Sleeping Swan. You may find that this side is different than your other side. That's entirely possible. Depends on your skeletal structure. One more minute. Remember to keep everything, your toes, your fingers, your jaw, everything relaxed. Relax your eyelids, believe it or not. Keep them relaxed. No squinting. Okay, carefully bring yourself back up on your elbows. Use your left foot and your left knee to kind of leverage yourself off of that right leg, and then bring your right leg back and rest on your belly for just a minute. Okay, now we're going to come up to a seated position. So you come up through your fours, and then we come up to seated. Next we'll do Dragonfly. And Dragonfly is basically just a wide leg forward fold. So for this, you may want a bolster, or a pillow. And you don't have to impress anybody with how wide you can bring your legs out. And you don't have to impress anybody with how forward you fold. All you want to do is feel that stretch on the inner thighs. Now, when you fold forward, you may feel some stretch in other parts of your body, but the intention of this pose is for you to feel the stretch on the inner thighs. Now again, we are going to be here for 5 minutes, so I don't want you to pull so far forward that you are not able to hold the pose for 5 minutes. So I really recommend that you use a bolster or a pillow for this pose to help you maintain it for 5 minutes. Okay? Now if you're one of these super duper bendy people, God bless you and just fold forward and do your thing. I'm not. I have tight hamstrings and I just can't bend that far forward without really hurting things. So I just do this and I feel a lot of tension here, so that's as far as I go. Okay. Here we go. And your feet should not be like bing, up like that. Just try to relax them. Relax the toes, shake them out. Relax the head, relax the neck. Again, keep everything relaxed. This is where you want to feel it, inner thighs. slowly push yourself up. And if you're using a bolster or a pillow, you can push that away. And just sort of kick your legs a little bit. And then pat them up and down the thigh. All right, we're going to move into shoelace. So shoelace, what you're going to do, put your left leg on the bottom, right leg on top. You want your knees right on top of each other as best you can. And you want both your sits bones on the mat, okay? Try to do that as best you can. If you can't, then we're going to do this. Leave one, leave one in, leave one out. You can even do deer if that doesn't work for you. But what I'd really like you to do is try shoelace. But you can do this, again, if it doesn't work for you. But here we go. Full shoelace, both sits bones on the floor, on the mat, knees right over each other as best you can. Feet are pointing back. Okay? Nice straight spine. Take a little breath. And then you're just going to fold forward. And you're just going to hold that position for 4 minutes. Not too terrible. Some people who have tighter hips are not able to do it. You just straighten one leg, keep the knees over each other. Or again, if you can't manage that, then I would have you do deer and fold forward. Just a half a minute more. Okay, slowly bring yourself up and straighten the legs. Just shake them out. And now this time we're going to do shoelace with the right leg on the bottom. And bend the knee, bring that right foot back. Left leg on top. The knees directly over each other and the left foot facing back. Straighten the spine a little bit. Take a few nice breaths. And then fold forward. Make sure your sits bones both are on the mat. All right. Slowly come back up to sitting. Straighten your legs. And shake them out. Good. All right, now we're going to lie down on our mats, on our backs. Let's keep our knees bent. And just windshield wiper our legs. Goal post your arms. And then when your your knees come to the right the next time, just drop them both to the right and turn your chin to the left. One more minute. All right, bring your knees back to the center. And then just do a quick bridge. Just lift the hips. Let them drop. And then bring your knees to the left. Chin to the right. One more minute. All right, bring your legs back to center, knees bent. Bring your arms down to your side, palms down. Do another little bridge, bringing the hips up. Your thighs are parallel. Just hold that up for 3 breaths. And then slowly let the hips down. And then let's do happy baby here. Just raise your feet towards the ceiling. Grab onto either your ankles, your calves, or the bottoms of your feet, by the sides, and pull your knees towards your armpits. You may want to rock. Massage your sacrum a little bit. If you're one of those lucky people that can straighten your legs, go ahead and do that if that feels good. Do whatever it is that feels right for your body right now before we head into our Shavasana. Just take a couple of minutes. Whatever feels good for your body right now. And then when you're done, just bring the soles of your feet together in bound angle, butterfly, and then bring them down to the mat. Stretch out your legs long and find your Shavasana. If you want a blanket, use a blanket to cover yourself up to keep warm, or bring a bolster underneath your knees if that's comfortable for you. Whatever feels good for your Shavasana. I'm going to do a little guided meditation for us during the last few minutes that we have together during the Shavasana. All right, so take a nice deep breath and sigh it out. And settle your body down. Just take a moment to remind yourself of how even in moments of anger and frustration, there's so much in life to be grateful for. How many circumstances every day occur in our life that we have to smile about, to be grateful for, and to think about wonderfully. There's always something to appreciate. I want you to reflect on different things in your life with an attitude of gratitude. I'm going to give you suggestions for recognizing things that you're thankful for. I'll give you a prompt, and then I'd like you to silently repeat and complete the statement, I'm thankful for. Okay, so I'll say something like, I'm thankful for, and then you complete it yourself at your own pace. So, I'm thankful for. Think about what came up for you just now. Do it again. I'm thankful for. Again, I'm thankful for. Do you see any patterns? Is there anything that you notice? Now I want you to focus on material things that you're thankful for. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have material things. I'm thankful for. Now focus on all the people that you appreciate. I'm thankful for. Now recollect a present circumstance that you are grateful for, being thankful for what's pleasing and desirable in your life right now. I'm thankful for. And now call to mind undesirable circumstances. Give them gratitude for the lessons that they gave you. I'm thankful for. Complete the statement, I'm thankful for, reflecting on personal qualities that you have, those that you admire about yourself. Now, let your mind roam to whatever else it is that you appreciate. Notice what you are feeling right now. Explore what's happening in your heart and in your mind and within yourself. Take a nice deep breath and sigh it out. One more time, nice deep breath. Sigh it out. Last one, deep breath. Sigh it out. Start to bring yourself back to the presence of the space that you're in. Bring movement to your fingers and your toes. And maybe move your head a little bit from side to side. Maybe hug your knees into your chest and rock a bit. Massage your sacrum. Feel good. And maybe give yourself a big good morning stretch, even though it's not the morning. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It feels so good. And then turn to the side and rest in fetal position. Just rest. And then slowly bring yourself up to seated position with your eyes softly closed. And let's remember that even in our moments of heated anger and frustration, there is always something to be grateful for, and always something to warm our heart. We just need to step back. Take a breath. And take that moment to think about it. We need to flip that coin, that Chinese medicine coin, one side anger, one side compassion and kindness. Flip that coin. Bring your hands to your heart. I thank you so much for sharing this evening with me. You bring me great joy. And as always, I wish you peace and I wish you joy. Namaste. Thank you everybody for being with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the yin sequence for the liver, and I hope you enjoyed my sharing about how to take a step back from anger and frustration. And as always, if you have any questions or need any more information about anything that I talked about tonight, please just shoot me a message or shoot me an email through Facebook, Instagram, or through my website. I am happy to talk with you as always. And as you know, I have launched another branch from my yoga business, and that is holistic coaching. If you're interested in a complimentary clarity call, I would love to hear from you, so just shoot me a message on that as well. And I do have slots available, and I would love to hear from you regarding that as well. If you would love to talk about anything that is on your mind that's keeping you from your dreams or from making progress in your life, let's chat, okay? Namaste, my friends. Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye.